Okay, so when drama happens, even if it's like a little bit of drama, I like to dissect it and learn from it. I'm not really in it anymore. I'm not like angry or anything like that. But if it's an opportunity, because I look at like drama or, anything that happens that's like, you know, a confrontation or something like that. I mean, there's so much to learn in one confrontation. And I do feel like if you dissect it and you look at it from if you look at it from every angle imaginable, then what happens is you're not going to experience that again. Does that make sense? But if you don't learn from it and you just kind of like say, oh, yeah, and then you just get in the drama, if you get in the drama when the drama's happening and you're in it and you're all caught up in the emotions and you're mad or whatever, you're not going to have the opportunity to learn what you're supposed to learn. So it's a gift. Like drama or confrontation, whatever you may call it, it's a freaking gift if you know, if you're able to look at it for what it truly is, okay? So, I think pretty much there was only two things that I needed to learn from the lady that, shoved the door in my face. Okay, so I already mentioned the whole thing on my earlier one about boundaries and things like that. Now here is a different subject, and I'm dissecting this because I just think I think there's power to it. Okay, it's just about people in general. So what people like to do, especially if they don't value you or respect you, what people like to do is when they're not valuing you or if they're disrespecting you, they don't want to show you that they're angry. Like if they're disrespecting you and you confront them and say, you disrespect me, and it's obvious, right? They don't want to get angry at that. What they want to do is they want to show they're angry but make up something completely different. For example, when I went to that lady's house, I did not have the intention to tell her to move her vehicle out of my driveway. I feel like she could park there, whatever. I don't care because I don't have a car and it's no big deal. And she knew that. She knew that the issue was about, all the other stuff that she put in my yard, which is like, antifreeze, big, huge batteries, tarps, wood, metal, huge metal pieces, styrofoam blocks, like just literally trash in my yard. And one time I heard something go over my fence one day, and I looked and it was like a huge styrofoam, and like someone literally threw it over my fence. I'm like, that is just whatever. I'm not in the drama about it, okay? Because that's boring. That's just boring to get just upset about it, because it's just like there's a lot to learn on this, okay? It's just about people in general, okay? So anyway, that was my intention. Of course, she didn't let me finish. She didn't even let me say anything. What she said was, you want me to take my cars out of your driveway. I'm like, and then she like slammed the door. She didn't let me say anything. Because if she let me say anything, that's why she shoved the door in my face. Because if she let me explain and said, no, I just mean the yard. If she given me the opportunity to explain, then she would have sounded freaking ridiculous as hell to get mad. But she really was angry. She was angry because she didn't have that control anymore. She didn't, and I feel like she was doing it to be passive aggressive, because there's absolutely no comprehension that someone would literally put trash in your yard. I mean, they literally don't like you. They literally don't fucking respect you if they're literally putting trash in your yard. Okay? So she thought it was trash. So basically, subconsciously or whatever, she was expressing herself, expressing like, this is what I really feel about you. Like antifreeze. Here, this is what I really feel about you. Batteries and tarps and wood and trash in your yard. That's how I feel. That's the way I feel about you. And that was the whole issue. I'm like, okay, this is how you feel about me. That's all. It's cool. You can have your feelings, but don't put it in my face. If you want to talk about me, if you want to whatever. And the funny thing is, she would act nice, but it's just like, she didn't like me because my yard didn't look as good as hers. I don't know. There's a million things. Like, either way, it was passive aggressive. Like, you have to freaking know this shit. But the thing is, she completely made up a whole other fabricated story and made up her own version. And her own version was basically that supposedly I told her that she cannot park in the driveway, which is not true. So instead, she wanted to go with that story to validate herself, to make it seem like she's the victim. Because she knows damn well, like if she told anybody this, when she gossips about me, because she is a gossip, when she gossips about me, and I'm not even gossiping about her. I mean, I guess I'm gossiping saying that she's a gossip, but it's true. She's a gossip. She knows it. So basically when she goes and she talks about me to the neighbors and, you know, and she wants to play the victim and say like, I'm this horrible person because, you know, she's done this for me or whatever. And I couldn't even allow her to park in my driveway. She's not going to tell people, oh, by the way, I mean, I had antifreeze in her yard and I had boards and tarps and metal and styrofoam blocks and, you know, vehicles in her yard. She's not going to tell anybody that. She's going to tell people, oh, Virginia got high and mighty and exaggerated because she told, like, she won't even let anybody park in her driveway after I've done this for her and this or whatever. And she's like, whatever, Virginia. So that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to play the victim in that way. And that's why she shut the door in my face, because that's the story she wanted to go with. She didn't want to go with the truth because the truth would make her look bad. But I'm going to let her roll with her story. She's going to roll with her story. And because that's what people do. Am I going to try to change her story? She texted me yesterday and she went with her version of the story. And I just said, when she did clear it up, which is good. You know, I texted her again. I was very nice. And that's the key. I'm going to tell y'all this. The way to handle people like that, when they're spewing out their version of the story, do not, I repeat, do not argue with them at all. Let them go on their version of reality. It doesn't matter. There's nothing to defend. They are dead set in their brain exactly how they want the story in their brain. You cannot fix it, and who cares if they have that version of the story. Okay, there's nothing to defend. They are dead set on their story. Let it be. So basically, she did text me. She texted me something kind of rude. She was just like, well, you know, I mean, I don't want to read personal text or whatever like that, but like, you know, it was catty, you know, but I just said, thanks again. I put a little smiley face. I kept it really short. I didn't explain anything. I didn't say, well, you had antifreeze in my yard. I didn't say any of that shit. I could have got a one up on her. I could have fucking got a one up. But guess what? You can't argue with people that are in that energy field. There's nothing to argue about. So I have learned with people like that, or just people in general. I'm not saying people like that because, look, everybody's good. Everybody is, you know, divine and things like that. But just people kind of get in their own stuff, and they kind of are like, you know, they act like, you know, a bitch. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm gonna call like it is. She act like a fucking bitch. Part of my French. And I'm saying acting. I'm not saying, I don't want to call anybody a bitch. There's no such thing. Nobody's a bitch. But some people act like a bitch, you know? And she, you know, she absolutely, I mean, that's so fucking disrespectful. I mean, I'm not mad at her because I'm not playing into that energy field. She wanted me to. She wanted me to argue with her. That's why she shoved the door in my face. And then she, like, had the audacity later to text me something rude again, you know? And I was just like, okay, like, you're going to get mad because I'm telling you to take up your trash. And I asked you nicely to pick up trash off my yard. Wow. You know, like, it's just insane. It's insanity. But it's cool, though, because when you respond in the most short way with the people, don't cower, though. Don't fall into don't be nice to those people, but be short, but be pleasant and cordial. That's what I've learned with people like that. Like, you just say, smiley face, oh, thank you. And I thanked her for clearing it up because I was thankful. Like, get that shit out of my yard. I was grateful. But, yeah. So, anyway, so that's a boring subject now, but okay, so that was my learning experience because that was like a symbolic of my life, kind of, you know? It was like people have like emotionally put their crap on me and things like that. So it was like the artistic expression of some of the things that I went through. So I'm like, what am I going to change this? And it was an opportunity for me to literally tell somebody to pick up their trash. So it was like a form of energy work. And I'll tell you this, when things like that happen, those are opportunities. It's like a form of energy work, or it's a form of like healing or, cleansing. When you have actual literal that the universe actually shows you something literal that's going on with you, like emotionally or other things like that. If it shows you that, then that's the greatest opportunity, because if you handle it in the right way, in the best way that you can possible. And I was able to use prayer through it, and because I was able to pray about it, I was able to handle it in the best way possible. And I handle it the greatest way anybody could in a situation like that, because I think most people would just like freaking go off on the lady, But the thing is, it wouldn't have solved anything, because then it would have validated her version. So basically, she got to play the bad person, and she may not. I think she will. See, the thing is, like, if you respond in the most cordial way and short, not cower. You cannot cower to people like when they're doing stuff like that. You can't say, oh my gosh, sorry that I'm asking. You can't say fucking sorry. Like, I'm sorry that I'm asking you to take your trash out. I did say I'm sorry that we had a misunderstanding. I think I did say that. But it's cool. It does. The thing is, maybe I should have, I don't know, what the fuck. Either way, she knows damn well that I never said she could put shit in my yard, like trash, and it's like, she used her opportunity. That's what she did. So it's her fault that she feels awkward, and it's her fault that it may not be on the most pleasant timing for me to tell her to remove it. She has no say in that. That's the thing. If someone is overstepping your boundaries, they don't get the say whenever you tell them to not anymore. Like if someone, so she didn't get a say, so she didn't have control in the situation, because she knew, I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but like, if she wouldn't have done it, then basically, she has to do it. Like, you can't do that. It's not even like, it's against the law. Either way, that's what I learned. This is a boring subject. I won't talk about it anymore, but, people are going to put their scripts on you. You can't change it, and don't try to change it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful when you don't, because if you try to change it, you're putting your energy into it. It's all about energy, okay? So it's not about who's right, who's wrong. What it is about what you invest your energy in. So basically, if you invest your energy into a really low argument where the person is absolutely to the highest level being absolutely ridiculous, and they are not even being a sane person in a situation, you got to be short as possible. Cordial, not cower, because when you're cowering, you're still putting energy into it. So it's never about that, y'all. Confrontation, negative energy is not about winning over that negative energy, because either way, if you invest in that negative energy, I don't care what it is, I don't care if you've won the argument and they're crying in tears and they're like, oh my goodness, I was wrong, you were right. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you put your energy into. If it is a low vibrational frequency and it is just despicable, acting very despicable, if you participate in it, whether it is cowering and you're falling into it saying, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, if you do that, that's still energy. If you fight with them and say, what'd you say? That's energy too. Either way, what we put our energy into, we get more of. So if a situation like that happens and all you do is do a little pixie dust, just put a little pixie dust on it, then that's it. Then you're not going to attract anything like that. But what's going to happen is those people that are in that lower vibration and then they're, choosing to be like that, they're going to continue to fall into another situation, which is the same exact one, because they want to keep playing it out over and over and over. So it's going to be somebody else. So that's going to be their story. And you're not participating in that story anymore. You're just like, okay, you want to run that script where you're the victim, and whatever, you allow them to do that, but just say, you go run your story with somebody else, and I'll just be here. And I'm not going to participate in that, and I'm not going to be mad. I think it's okay to invest your energy if you're trying to learn from it. Like me, I'm investing my energy. Okay, I'm investing it. I'm making a video. I mean, whatever. But I do feel like it was a gift. I'm looking at it as a gift, as a learning experience through my whole freaking life. Like, I'm going to say, this is my life right here. It is a artistic expression, a literal exhibit of what has happened in my life where, I feel like some people have dumped on me and things like that. I'm like, so what do I need to do to clear it? Oh, okay, I need to speak my boundary. Okay, but you declare your boundary, but here's the key right here. You don't put your energy into it at all. Like, no fucking energy at all. That's the key to life. So then I'll never have the experiences anymore. So if somebody is going to treat me like crap or whatever like that, I'm not going to be mad at them, because if I'm mad at them, that's putting in energy. If I talk bad about them and say, oh my gosh, they're so hard, that's energy. The only thing that I'm going to put my energy into is what is serving my highest good. What is bringing out the best, in me. So that's all. And that is success right there. So we get what we put our energy into. So I'm just going to focus on all the good stuff now. I mean, the drama, the negative stuff, whatever, those were gifts as well. Those were gifts. I was able to learn things that I would have never learned if I had not been through that. But now I feel like there is such thing as you get to a point in your life where you've, played those retarded roles for people, or, you run these little scripts, these programs that are not serving. You kind of go through it. It feels icky, but it is good. It is a good experience. But then you finally have that wisdom where you're just like, it is possible in life to be exceptionally happy. It is possible to have just like wonderful, positive energy. It's possible to really be there. And it's like, I want to live there. I want to be there before I'm like 100, and, I don't want to be like an old haggard woman, bitter and upset with people. What I want to do is I don't want to be mad at anybody. I want to forgive every single person in my life. I want to get to that in my life. And it's possible, where it's just like I look at things as they truly are. And I'm looking at things as they truly are. And when you look at things as they truly are, and you look at it as like learning experiences, you'll never really get mad at anybody. So it's like I have a one up on that lady, because I'm looking at it from a higher level, and I feel, I could be wrong, but I feel like she's in the lower realm, not in a way to look down at her, because I've resided in the lower realm before too. So everybody's been guilty of getting caught up in retarded shit, okay? So everybody's guilty of it. So it's not because I'm more spiritually evolved than her. Either way, because of her tone and whatever, she's going to be residing in that space of the, like, just the very, very lower, retarded, version of the story. And I'm going to be like, looking at it from this higher level, and it's not going to bother me. But she's going to be hot and bothered, because, she's just going to be hot and bothered. But I don't want her to. I don't care. Either way, it's boring. It's freaking boring. So now, to remove my energy from that, what else do I want to talk about? I'm really into, like, human psychology. I feel like humans we're so complicated. We're so simple. Like, we're so predictable. Human beings are so predictable. If you really break it down, it's like everybody kind of does the same shit, but at the same time, we're like complicated and we're all different. So it's just kind of funny. Like, I don't know. I'm like really into that. Like, I just like to understand things like in the deepest level possible. I just, I